everyone! So earlier this year I did a course to become a certified holistic birth mentor, and I wanted to talk about it today to put something out into the world on this topic. I'll start with what a holistic birth mentor is. Because when I explain this, when I say I've gotten the certification, people are like, what is that? A holistic birth mentor is basically being a support person for women. It's being someone who's an advocate and a listening ear. Through doing this course, you're basically learning how to support women in whatever way they need. So through this course, you're definitely gaining passion and empowerment and knowledge to fuel your ability and desire to help women in whatever way that you would personally do that, in whatever your skill set is, whatever your talents are. It's kind of meshing the passion for supporting and helping women and your skills, your talents. So for example, for me personally, I have a passion for supporting girls and women and babies. I have this passion, and then I have a skill set of videography and having a YouTube channel. My ultimate dream is to combine the two to create content that empowers girls and women and is a place of support and inspiration. So that's kind of an example of how I'm using it. What's cool about it is that you can just use it in whatever way you want. You can use this knowledge of birth and of the needs that women have and mesh it with you and your abilities and skills. Hopefully that gives a little idea. I feel jumbled talking about all this because there's kind of a lot to this, but yeah. So for the course itself, I want to tell you guys a little bit about why I chose to do a birth mentorship. I don't know, it almost felt funny choosing to do it as a young woman. I'm only 20. When I was doing it, I was only 19, and it just felt it almost felt funny learning about birth, which is now funny that seemed funny, because I just feel from a young age we need to learn about birth in this way, in this holistic way, in this empowering way, in this way where it's such a natural process and not a medicalized event. And I'm so grateful that I had this inner light go off for me to learn about birth, because I see how much learning about it has affected how I see myself as a woman and how I will go forward when I am in the years that I'm having babies. And also, I have so many sisters, and I want to be a support person for them when they go through that time too. So I don't know. Again, this is going to be really rambly because I just have so many thoughts on this topic, and it's hard for me to even know how to articulate myself with it, but I have to start somewhere, so we're starting here. So anyway, so what brought me to this point of having this light go off in me to learn about birth specifically was it all started with me doing my holistic nutrition certification. So I did that back in 2021, and that definitely just altered my perception of health and myself and wellness and the world. When you learn about things in a holistic way, it kind of takes you back to your roots and to this level of truth and wisdom, and things about the world and about yourself become increasingly interesting. So for me, my education in holistic nutrition made me very curious about my menstrual cycle and about the menstrual cycle overall, because it's this cycle that women are constantly in, and it has such huge effects on us. And I was like, well, there has to be so much truth, so much wisdom, so much within this cycle. And so that led me to doing a self-study on the menstrual cycle. I'll make a separate video on that as well. So I learned a bunch about the menstrual cycle. I'm such a nerd for the menstrual cycle, and I expect people to be as interested in it as I am, but I don't know. I'm just it's just such a crazy, creative, intelligent, and spirit-filled cycle. I definitely want to talk more about the menstrual cycle and all that stuff. But anyway, again, I'm going to be rambling so much. So I took a deep dive into the menstrual cycle, and then from there, I realized women have all this power and there's so much suppressed and so much we're not taught. And I was like, okay, well, this has to transfer to birth. Like, what more powerful time is there in a woman's life than when they're pregnant and growing a human inside of them and then birthing it out? Like, that's like the epitome of power and spirit. And so I wanted to learn more about it. So that's what ultimately led me to wanting to do this course. So I did this holistic birth mentor certification course through Wellness Blessing. It's created by Cara Maria Ananda. I just want to tell you guys a little bit about the course itself because it's such an incredible resource. So here's a little overview of the course that's taken directly from the Wellness Blessing website. The Holistic Birth Mentor training is an 8-part online course to become a certified holistic birth mentor and be trained to provide holistic birth education, advocacy, and mentoring. Like what was mentioned in this description, there's 8 parts to the course. So here's the 8 parts. An introduction for holistic birth, healing arts for the birthing year, natural pregnancy wellness, biodynamic birth preparation, undisturbed birthing, gentle beginning for baby, postpartum healing practices, and holistic birth mentor business skills. Those are the general topics. Each topic has a video-based lesson that's led by Cara, and then there's a workbook type of PDF that kind of reiterates what was said in the video, but also gives more information. And then there's links to different articles and then suggestions of books to read for each part. So that's kind of how the course is within the 8 parts. The videos are just so inspiring, and Cara has such she has such contagious passion for this topic, and it just shows having someone be passionate about something that they care about, it just is so inspiring. So the videos themselves are so inspiring. Cara is so good at explaining everything and fueling it with so much inspiration. I read through all the article resources as well. And then what I also did, I asked her specifically, this is another thing that's cool about this course, is that you have access to her. You have access to Cara. So you can email her at any time, ask her your questions. She's just very warm and inviting, and it truly feels like she wants to support you and be your advocate. I just think that that's so cool. It just speaks to everything that she's teaching. So I asked her specifically for a couple of book recommendations because she lists a lot of different book suggestions, but I was like, okay, what would be 2 that are good to start with? So alongside the course itself, I also read Ina May's Guide to Childbirth. This book was so amazing. It's just when you read these books and you learn about birth in this way, it just feels like you're uncovering hidden truths. Ina May is a very well-known midwife, and there's so many stories in this about birth, so a bunch of birth stories, which is really cool. And then it just goes into so much. I will link this book if you guys can check it out. Again, I am not pregnant. I am not planning on having kids anytime soon. I just think that learning about this stuff as a woman at any age is just so valuable and important. I think the earlier you can learn about birth in this way, the more empowered you're going to feel, and the more women and girls will know how to advocate for each other. So anyway, I read that book, and then I also read Gentle Birth, Gentle Mothering by Dr. Sarah Buckley. Both of these books talk about birth stories and human studies and C-sections and the cascade of interventions and all types of stuff. This is another really great resource that's very inspiring and empowering, and definitely helps you to reframe how a lot of us are taught to see birth, which is in this very medicalized way. So I definitely recommend this book too. I felt so funny reading these books just because it felt like I was buying baby, mom books for myself because I was having a baby. I almost felt like I was preparing to have a baby when I was taking this course because I was just learning so much about it. I'm like, wow. It was pretty funny. So this course was pretty quick. I think I completed it in maybe 2 months. And it was definitely my sole focus. Again, with anything you're learning, it's all about putting time into it. You have an unlimited amount of time to do this course, so you can totally go at your own pace. I just think it's such a great resource and a great starting point to open your eyes to this world of pregnancy and birth, and also in the needs that there are that need to be met for women. Oh, there's just so much to it. Like, I truly feel like I'm just like rambling because it's just hard to like think through it all. Also, for the course, I wanted to show you guys my binder and how I kind of like set things up for any of the certification courses I've done. So this is my binder for my holistic birth mentor certification, and then also I've added stuff kind of like from my self-study on the menstrual cycle. So what I really like to do is I have my certification here. I put this in once I've completed the course. I like putting it in the front of my binder so that it's just all complete and pretty. For this one, I have a notebook because I took handwritten notes on each of the videos. Typically in other certifications, I will type out notes, but I just found it easier to write them out for this one. And then I have dividers for each part of the course. So I have 8 that are used for this one. That's just an idea of how you can make the most of the course and have a resource for yourself. This is great too because, you know, you're using this course to be a mentor and have resources. So it's great to put this together while you're doing the course so that you then have a resource for yourself. I think that that's great. Also, like, how cute are these stickers? I got them off Etsy. They're so pretty. This was definitely a super rambly video. It's hard to just like stay on one topic, but hopefully that gives you an idea of a resource for learning about birth. And there's also other certifications on the Wellness Blessing website for women's health. So take a look at it. I just want to sort of promote this resource. This is just fully my experience with it. It's such a great resource that I just want to have another voice, maybe leading you to the world of birth and women's health and advocacy. There's a lot of value in looking at birth and challenging the way that so many of us see it in this medicalized way, and challenging that and questioning it and shifting perspective. Overall, this experience of this course and reading these books and taking the time to learn about this topic is just, it's been so empowering for me. It's changed how I view myself and life and the female body and our medical system, and it's just changed my view in so many ways, and I'm really grateful for that. And I just think that the younger that we're taught about our bodies and about pregnancy and birth, the younger we're taught about it in this way, that's just so powerful and empowering and spirit-filled. The sooner we can do that, the sooner we can learn about our bodies and about birth and about pregnancy in this holistic way, in this broadened viewpoint that is not just purely medical, the sooner we can see the power that our bodies hold and that our female spirit holds, the sooner we can advocate for ourselves and for others. And that is hugely impactful and powerful. So with all of that being said, thank you so much for listening to me. I will leave a link to this course down below. This has just been 100% my own experience with it, and I just wanted to put it out there as a really great resource. I will link it down below. I will link the books down below, and I just hope that you will follow whatever makes you feel excited and inspired, and you embrace that energy and use it as your fuel. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!